Hello. In this presentation, we'll be going over the Southwest Supermarket fire. We will cover how this fire became an infamous one and the lessons learned in the fire community to prevent it from ever happening again. A brief introduction to this fire. In Phoenix, on March 14, 2001, a small debris fire outside of the Southwest Supermarket grew into a blaze that took the life of a firefighter and injured 4 others. It was 100 degrees that day with a strong wind heading out of the southwest, which was considered a critical factor for the growth of the fire, as well as an inversion layer causing the smoke to stay low. Another critical factor was the origin of the fire was directly under power lines that fed the building. The fire ended up progressing to 5 alarms and involved more than 100 personnel. The fire origin and progression. A fire was called in at 16:53. An engine 24 was dispatched to a debris fire in the south alley of the supermarket strip mall. The wind blew the fire into a small 3-foot man door, which progressed the fire into the storage area of the market. The fire in the storage area was able to reach vents that helped spread the fire to the ceiling and the rest of the supermarket. Shortly after offensive tactics were started, the whole supermarket had zero visibility and high heat, making conditions very strenuous. Here we have a view of the south side of the building where the fire had started, and the 3-foot man door the fire progressed through. A call was made for a debris fire behind Ace Hardware, and engine 24 was dispatched. Now here is an interior view of the building, to which we see the man door the fire progressed through, now on our left. This is a diagram of the structure and the origin of the fire. It depicts the power lines right over the origin of the fire. The Southwest Supermarket was built in the 50s and was over 20,000 square feet. The building was built on concrete with no basement. The walls were built with concrete cinder blocks. Roof was built primarily with steel beams, but paneled with wood. There is a 4-foot attic section. Brick wall separated the warehouse area from the shopping section. Upon extending a hose line into the storage room, which both hose lines had loops in them, which would make it very tricky for trapped firefighters, firefighter Tarver notified his captain that he was running low on air. The captain of Engine 14 ordered his crew to exit the building by following the hose line to the exterior. As they were leaving, Tarver and another member of Engine 14 became disoriented and ran into a wall and ended up in the rear portion of the supermarket. Somehow, the 2 firefighters got split up, and while Tarver remained trapped, the other firefighter found his way out with the help of other crew members. Many rescue attempts were made upon Tarver's distress call, and many almost became victims themselves. Rescue operations were hindered by limited visibility, water from the firefight, heat conditions, and falling debris that caught onto Tarver's clothing. The crew from Engine 21 was able to locate Tarver, but had to leave because they were low on air. Somehow the 2 firefighters got split up, and while Tarver remained trapped, the other firefighter found his way out with the help of other crew. Illustrated is the initial placement from a bird's eye view of the apparatuses. Engine 24, acting captain, took command upon arrival. Here we have the division and sections of the Phoenix Fire Department on the day of the incident. The incident command, at first, Engine 24, acting captain, took command upon arrival. Battalion 3 then arrived and took command, ordered first alarm upon taking command, ordered second alarm when crews determined there was a working fire in the supermarket. The support officer and senior advisor were already en route. The support officer ordered a command van to be set up to maximize viewing. Following is an illustration after multiple alarms, now with over 100 fire personnel and 25 apparatuses on the fire ground. Working towards the end of our presentation, we now have the lessons learned from our tragic accident. Fire officer. Phoenix Fire Department recommended adding additional safety officers to cover the call volume increases. Additionally, the recommendation was that a safety officer would respond to all structure fire incidents. A quicker response time of the safety officer for large incidents can relieve some of the workload off the IC, create greater efficiency, and maintain the overall safer operation environment for safety for fire crews. Radio communications on the fire ground. The radio communications on the incident of this size must be effective as possible. Multiple channels should be used. Mayday comms should be moved to its own channel to provide uninterrupted communication between the IC and the trapped firefighter, which is now a common practice across the United States. A separate channel can also be used for safety communications. Phoenix Fire recommends the use of SCBA intercoms for better in-person communication and to reduce the overall traffic on the radio. Knowing your district can help decrease search time and increase our knowledge of the floor plans within the district. First, two crews spent initial efforts searching small building additions, the Ace Hardware and clothing store, thinking they spanned the whole rear of the building. Simply being familiar with the building or a full pre-plan could have saved considerable time during the initial search and fire attack. The RICs, Rapid Intervention Crews. Phoenix Fire Department reported that RIC teams were not implemented as effectively as they could have been. Ongoing training and RIC classes were created to reinforce RIC operations. Additionally, RIC bags were deployed to all apparatuses. The team lost precious time searching for RIC bags from battalion vehicles during this incident, valuable time they could have spent in the building searching for victims. Air management. Air management was noted as one of the biggest considerations for fire rescue efforts in this incident. Rescue crews actually reached trapped firefighter Tarver but were unable to rescue him due to diminished air supply. It is command and the safety officer's responsibility to ensure adequate air supply before beginning any rescue efforts. Finally, our sources of information and pictures throughout the presentation. Thank you for listening.